Hey everyone, in this video, I want to talk about the 5 biggest regrets that I have made with credit cards over the past decade of my life. Now, I'm not someone who likes to dwell on the past, but looking back now, I do have some serious credit card mistakes that I have made that I wish I can undo now. Hopefully by discussing my regrets in this video, it might help others who are brand new to the credit card game and just starting out like I once was, and hopefully avoid the mistakes that I have made in my own credit card journey. Starting out with my first regret, and that was simply waiting too long to open my first credit card. I'm currently 25. I didn't open my first credit card till I was 23 back in December of 2020. Now you're probably wondering why I waited that long to open my first credit card. That was mostly because I was simply uneducated on the great benefits that credit cards can offer and was just told to simply stay away from credit cards because they were evil. Because of that, I use my debit card for everything. Now one of the main reasons why opening your credit card earlier on is better, and that's because credit cards can be a great tool to build your credit early on. Since your payment history makes up 35% of your FICO score, therefore by simply making at least the minimum payment by the due date every month, your credit cards will help build your credit over time. Although I highly recommend paying the statement balances full every month, so because credit cards can be absolutely dangerous if you're not careful with them. It's important to treat your credit card like a debit card in order to prevent overspending. Now, I later paid the price of not opening a credit card earlier on when I went to get a car loan at about 23 years old. I was given a very high interest rate because I didn't have any credit. Now, the minimum age to open a credit card is around 18. Therefore, I highly recommend you open one at 18 years old and not wait till your mid-20s like me. If I had opened a credit card earlier on, it could have helped me get a better credit score when I went to get that car loan, and therefore would have saved me thousands of dollars in interest that could have been avoided. Although a positive credit history is more than just being able to buy things with a credit card, I highly recommend you getting one ASAP, especially if you don't have one in your mid-20s, and being responsible for that first credit card, setting up auto pay and full statement balance every month, and never overspending just because you have a credit card. Not using that credit card properly can end up destroying your credit instead, can defeat the purpose of even opening a credit card. Now that first credit card should all depend on your personal spend and habits. Now I went with no annual fee credit card for my financial institution that I was already banking with, because I already had an existing relationship with them. It gives you a better chance of being approved for one of their credit cards. Because I didn't have any credit history and had a very low credit score, I was given a very low credit limit. I was able to double that around 6 months later after paying off the credit card every month in full. Now, I personally believe there are 3 important factors when opening first credit card. First, having no annual fee credit card is most likely the best way to go for your first credit card, since this is a card you want to keep into adulthood and want to use as long as you can, since your first credit card does have the longest credit history on your credit score. Therefore, this is a card you don't want to close out if it does have an annual fee. If you are going with an annual fee credit cards, make sure that annual fee is worth it for you, and if those rewards can benefit you as well. Next, you want a credit card with decent cashback rate on everyday purchases. Whenever you're going with a 2% catalog credit card or a category credit card, it's all based on your personal spend and habits. Lastly, having some type of sign-up bonus for your first credit card can be a great benefit to opening that first card. Now, the first card that I opened back in December 2020 was the TD Cash card. It's no annual fee credit card that offers 3% cashback on dining, 2% cashback on grocery, 1% cashback on everything else. Now, this is a card that I use for 3% cashback on grocery because it was transitioned into a category credit card that you get to pick what category you want that 3% cashback on at 2% cashback on. Now this is a decent first credit card, although I wouldn't get this credit card now because there are other better options out there for your first credit card. Now I do wish I got that credit card earlier on so I can take advantage of all the benefits that credit cards can offer. Although whatever credit card you go with, make sure it fits your personal spend and habits, the card that you're comfortable using every day. Now unfortunately that first credit card that I got was barely used, which brings me to my second regret, and that was I was still using my debit card for my everyday purchases instead of my credit card that I just got. Now I finally had a good decent cashback credit card for my first card, but I didn't even use it for a good amount of time. I would still carry around my debit card for my everyday purchases in my wallet. Compared to now, I don't even keep my debit card in my wallet. This was because I still had that negative mindset about credit cards and would simply avoid using it. This was because I heard of people going into credit card debt and wanted to avoid that at all costs. When I asked advice from people that I knew who had credit cards and that were older than me, they told me to simply only use it once a month and pay it off as soon as I can so I can build up my credit. Being responsible with your first credit card and by paying it off as soon as you can every month in the full balance is great advice I got early on in my credit card journey. However, since I was responsible with my first credit card, I could have used it more often instead of using my debit card instead. Another small benefit that debit cards don't offer is better protection when using your credit card. When using your credit card, you're using the bank's money that they're loaning out to you that you're promising to pay back in full. Therefore, it's a lot easier to report fraud transactions when using your credit card because of zero liability protection. Now, while the TD Cash card is a decent first credit card that I'm happy with, I did miss out on other better cashback rates on other categories, and a second credit card would have helped out with that problem. Which brings me to my third regret, and that was simply waiting too long to open my second credit card. I opened that first credit card in December of 2020, but the next credit card wasn't open until 2 years later in 2022. I was simply using only one credit card and was dependent on that one credit card for my everyday purchases. That was about a time when I started using my debit card for everything. Since that TD Cash card is a category credit card, I wish I would have gotten a catalog credit card to get 2% cash back and everything else that the TD Cashback card doesn't offer, since it only offers 1% cash back and everything else. Ideally, I would have gotten a second credit card about 12 months later after getting the TD Cash card. Now, applying for your second credit card is a lot easier to get approved for, since ideally you have a year of credit history when you open that second credit card. And you can also be more picky with your second credit card at that point, since you have credit history with your first credit card. Now, as long as that second credit card can fit your personal spend and habits, you can definitely justify it. Now, some people believe opening many credit cards is a bad thing. That simply isn't true. It all depends on the person who's using those credit cards. You can definitely have 1 to 10 credit cards or even 20 credit cards, as long as you're using them in a responsible manner and you're getting benefits from those credit cards. Another benefit by having another credit card is you can diversify your credit card network. In case your bank gets shut down for whatever reason, you can have a second credit card to take that place. I was using my TD Cash credit card for everything, and I also had a TD debit card as well. So I was dependent on TD Bank, and if anything would have happened, if I lost those 2 cards, I would have been stuck with no credit cards or even a debit card to use. Now, over those 3 years, my life changed a lot. I graduated college, started my first post-graduation job, and also moved across the country out of my parents' house into my first apartment in the beginning of 2022. Now, also because of those life-changing events, my spend also increased as well. I could have took advantage of a higher cashback category credit card that my TD Cash card didn't offer at that time. During those 3 years, I also could have been taking advantage of signing up for new credit cards with sign-up bonuses, which brings me to my fourth regret, and that is not getting a new credit card for big expecting spend. I personally believe that any new credit card should have a sign-up bonus. Sign-up bonus is the best way to get upfront value on your spend. I never recommend getting a new credit card with a steep sign-up bonus requirement. Not being able to hit that requirement, that would simply be a waste of applying for a new credit card. If you know you have a lot of spend coming up, then why not get a new credit card for the sign-up bonus? Sign-up bonuses are way better value than cash back. For example, the Chase Freedom Flex and Limited both have a $200 sign-up bonus if you spend $500 within the first 3 months of account opening. Now, if you were to use the Limited to get $200 cash back, you would have to spend around $13,000 with that 1.5% cash back rate. Therefore, by having a sign-up bonus, you can definitely add a lot of value to applying for a new credit card. Now, a new credit card with a decent sign-up bonus for me would have been best during that time when I was moving to a new apartment. I realized it's too late and missed out on that great opportunity I could have gotten by getting a decent sign-up bonus during that time. I could have opened a card like the Capital One Venture X that has a steep sign-up bonus, but I think I could have got that requirement during that time, or even a less requirement card like the Chase Freedom Flex or Unlimited. Now, sign-up bonuses are great as long as you can justify the card you're opening, plan on using even after the sign-up bonus. First, you can always churn credit cards for the sign-up bonus and downgrade them later on if they have an annual fee. That is also something I could have done during that time frame. Finally, my last regret was not adding Chase credit cards early on in my credit card journey because of the Chase 524 rule. The Chase 524 rule states in order to be approved for any new Chase credit cards, you cannot have opened 5 or more personal credit cards across all banks in the last 24 months, else Chase will deny you for any new credit cards. I didn't learn about the Chase 25 rule until I was already late into the credit card game. I didn't add my first Chase credit card until a few months ago, and that was the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Ideally, adding one of the no annual fee Chase credit cards like the Flex or the Unlimited early on your credit card journey and save you the trouble of adding these cards while you're working around the Chase 524 rule. Now, getting into the Chase ecosystem early on can be highly beneficial since they have some of the best credit cards in the game right now. Adding the Flex Day Limited will later let you pool these points that you earned from those cards and transfer them out to either the annual fee credit cards like the Preferred or the Reserve to complete the Chase Trifecta. The Chase Trifecta includes cards like the Chase Freedom Unlimited, Chase Freedom Flex, and either the Chase Sapphire Preferred or Reserve. Now, the benefit of the Chase Trifecta is that you can earn rewards across a wide range of spending categories and allows you to pull these points you earn from those 3 cards and redeem them for higher value. Now, instead of getting 1 cent per point like most credit cards, Chase points are a lot more valuable because pay for travel, transfer those points out throughout the Chase travel partners for more value. You can transfer points out to transfer partners that Chase offers instead of redeeming the points back to cash for 1 cent per point. Now, I don't blame myself for not knowing about the Chase 24 rule early on, although I do wish I knew about it early on in my credit card journey, where now I have to work around the Chase 524 rule to add more Chase credit cards to my wallet. We all tend to learn and grow as we live our lives. We all make mistakes, and I'm sure I'll be making many more credit card mistakes throughout my credit card journey. Let me know in the comments below if you have additional credit card regrets that I might have missed out on that you encountered during your credit card journey. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching.